So I want to just kind of chat with you about what's going on in the Bay Area. Now, the last couple of times we did a market update, you kept saying the market's crazy, the market is hot. Is it still like that?
Oh yes, it is, and it's actually a little bit worse. So,
A
well,
little bit worse.
it's not discouraging. It's not to discourage my buyers and the buyers around, right? So we're just in a short inventory right now, and there is a tons and tons of buyers. And yes, I agree with Jean, right? So actually, you have to be very proactive, right? Sometimes homes go on the market and then they run like they just placed on the market in 2 days and they're already in the contract. That's actually how I got my recent clients in the contract. I just saw the house, I sent it to them, second day on the market, and the agent, he didn't put offer due date on MLS yet. So I contacted him and I said, I'm going to send you an offer within an hour. Are you willing to accept it? It's going to be non-contingent, well above the asking price. So he was concerned about if my clients will be able to cover if it's not going to appraise. And I said, like, hey, it's going to be sure appraised, but probably. So my clients very prepared, like for the difference. So my
Hmm.
broker, who's a loan broker, he contacted the agent. He said, hey, they're going to close for sure. So basically, yes, you have to be very fast, very active, like, and my buyers at this point they've been very nervous because it has to be a really fast decision, right? And then they've been like backing on, and then they called me and they actually text me later, like in the morning. They said, thank you, Lily, thank you for being our agent. And I said, like, yeah, I just got them in the contract like within 2 days of the house being on the market. And they've been like very stressed about that, right, at the beginning, but then they actually thanked me because at this market you have literally to move really fast. It's either you will be proactive or somebody else, right?
As a listing agent, I work mostly primarily as a listing agent. I very much appreciate when the loan officer takes the
Yes.
initiative to contact me to influence. I don't mind being influenced by a loan officer because I also have a loan license. So we kind of speak the same language. So if I can communicate with him to gain a better confidence in the loan approval process for this buyer or the strength of the borrower loan application, that will help influence me in picking that buyer. So certainly, if you're an agent working a loan officer, you want to take the initiative because the listing agents could be extremely busy. They don't have time to call the loan officer. It's up to the loan officer to contact the listing agent.
Yes, great. And actually, I work with a really good loan broker. He's very proactive, right? So he's standing up for the clients. Like every time, like I tell him like, okay, we're almost in. Can you call the agent, right? He's calling right away. Like he makes sure, like reassures the agent that we're gonna close. And it's very helpful, actually. It's very helpful.
You
All the
know,
deals
you
which
know,
uh-huh.
as the listing agent, there are four words that are music to my ears. The buyer will close. We will close.
Yes.
Those are the words I want to hear because that has a lot of influence versus an agent who just submitted an offer and I never have a chance to speak to the agent. Don't expect the listing agent to call you. You have to be proactive to call the listing agent because they got so many offers. They can't be calling everybody and they are not interested in talking to every single buyer.
Yes, yes. And actually, at this market right now, like as Jean, like I know is in San Diego is a different market, right? Like, so I know it's fast paced as well as in here. It's actually market is like that everywhere, right? So, but when you say about the property, like listed at 920 and it's gonna close at 950, in here in Northern California, right? If I see property listed at 899, so I'm pretty sure it's going to close at 1 mil, right?
Oh
So,
my
and
God.
like we talk about 50K plus and over, right? We don't, like every time my clients will say like, oh, we're going to put 30K above, it's like nothing in here, right? So like comparing to them, like, and I'm never make a mistake approximately at what price the properties will close, right? So I would say, hey, this property will close at 1 mil, this will hit 1.1, and it does. So basically, in here you have to be very active, very fast-paced market, and it's still not to discourage the buyers, right? There is a properties, like I always say, if you're on a market to buy a house, right, you have to be active. You have to submit everything you like. You just submit offers, right? Do your best and go like right now. What I advise to my buyers, it's just to go the highest as they can, right? So, and of course, we're gonna go non-contingent, right? Every offers recently, which I'm submitting right now at this month, they're all non-contingent. So my buyer pays for home warranty. So it's basically I make it so easy for the listing agent, for the seller, because we have to compete. We have to be able to win the offer. And I know that people, even when people say, "Oh, we want to rent back for 2 months," what I offer to my buyers, I say like, "Hey, if it's not a big amount for you, just offer this 2 months for free, and that way you have a better chance," right? And they think about it. Okay, they let the sellers stay in the house for 2 months free, and it's like plus to non-contingent, and still at some cases we lose because it's like the market, like people have in a Bay Area here, they have a lot of cash, they have a lot of money, right? So basically everything what they we got overbid like by 100K, by 150K, right? Like, so it's crazy, but it's possible to get in a contract.
Okay, other than making the offer non-contingent, other than giving the seller more time to live on the property for free, what other things can you put in the offer to sweeten up the offer?
Okay, so like basically that's what I do. I just offer non-contingent. Of course, we're gonna go above asking price, and I'm not talking about 20K or 30K. It's gonna be most likely 50K, 100K above. And I've done like in 100K, and we lost even sometimes being at
Yeah,
100K above. So then the other thing is like my broker, like my lender calling the agent. Of course you have to like you have to know the agent as well, right? You have to be very active. You have to call the agent. You basically call the agent after submitting an offer and saying like, "Hey, please accept us, please accept us. What do you need from us? Do we stand a chance? Please counter us," right? So even let's say even my clients are like, they would say like, "Okay, this is our limit, like we want to buy a house for 1 mil." And if there is a potential that the sellers, they can counter my buyers, like let's say they will say give us the highest and best, right? So if they will counter us like at 1 mil 30, right, like, or 1 mil 50, I still leave this option for my buyers, like, because you don't know, maybe they have a, they have a parents who can help, they have a family members who can help. So I always leave the window open for my buyers, right? I'm not just submitting an offer and waiting for the agent to contact me. So yes, in a contract wise, yes, we do non-contingent, home warranty, rent back for free, whatever is needed, right? So and also submitting an offers usually right now when I submit, if my client is very strong and if they come like way above the asking price, I create the documents, like all the disclosures, like I submit already signed to the seller's
oh
agent.
yeah,
He sees my commitment, right? He sees all
yeah,
my documents already on his table. So yes, it's extra work for me as an agent, right? Because I don't know if my offer is
yeah.
accepted, but I think it's a big deal for the listing agents to receive the committed client, right, with all disclosures already on the table signed.
Yeah, of course, of course. In Southern California, recently I submitted an offer that is non-contingent, and I offered to pay the buyer will get their own home warranty. I will pay for the natural hazard disclosure. We'll pay for the homeowners association documents. Pretty much pay for everything. Okay,
Yeah.
we still lost, and
Yes.
uh, and then the listing agent called me and said, "Kenny, I'm so sorry. They offer pretty much the best because you got a loan, and they have a better loan program than yours." And then a couple of days later, to my surprise, he called me and said the other buyer backed out. I said, "Oh my God, we got that one." So
Yeah.
just try, keep trying, keep trying. So as you can see, if you're an agent in this market, you got to work extra hard now, extra hard. So let's look at the chart and see what's going on in the Bay Area. Okay.
Yeah. No,
All right, the
actually, I
first
just
chart shows median list price.
Let me open up my chats. Sorry.
Of course.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
wanted.
take.
Mhm. Yeah, I wanted to add actually to what I said before about the relationship with agents. Yes, it's very important actually to call agents. And this recent deal which I got in, it was the same way, right? I submitted, and the agent reached out to me and he says like, "Oh, I remember you. You showed my property like 3 or 4 months ago. Like my listing, like." And so I personally, I just remembered his name. I never met him, right? But he remembered me. He remembered my name. He remembered my like bringing clients to his listing, and he just basically knowing me somehow like he said, "Okay, I know you. Let's accept it," right? So relationships with agents, which are important. So let me see
Yeah, take your
the
time. Take your time. And
I'm
while Lily is
yeah.
doing that, have you found it?
Yeah, so first one we're looking at it's a median list price for the past 2 years, right? So okay,
Yes.
so like on the first chart, you see the difference between San Francisco and Daly City. So of course, okay, San Francisco at the beginning of the COVID, as I said previously, everyone who wanted to buy an apartment or condo in San Francisco, that was a moment for people to buy, right? But recently it started to grow, and actually on a chart, right, they come with the average price. So average price, because they use BMRs and everything, so you see it shows that the listing price going down, but actually the prices are actually spiking right now, specifically in condos. So if a couple months ago, let's say, you could buy and negotiate on a condo in San Francisco, I was submitting for one like maybe 3 or 4 months ago. I was submitting for condo, which was listed for 800, but it was previously bought like a year or 2 years ago for 1.1. So they sold at 900. We lost because my client was coming in a low price,
So the
but they
prices of condominium went down?
they went down previously, but right now they pacing up. They growing up again. So if today's market, like as if today you look at the condos in San Francisco, they're not going down. Actually, the market in San Francisco is picking up. So, and which is, like I just submitted, I'm submitting, right? Like let's say a month ago, I submitted for another condo in San Francisco in Hyde Ashbury, and they priced it, I think, at 899, as I remember. So no, or maybe 800. They priced it at 800. So we wanted to come like closer to eight plus, right? And they closed at 1.2. So like I knew the value was there, but then somebody actually overpaid about 100K above of the actual
Oh,
market value. So yes, and that's very common in Bay Area right now. People overpay, like like let's say, for example, my recently I submitted an offer like about a month, like less than a month ago in Union City. So there is a specific neighborhood where homes close to the park and school, and people target this area. So if like let's say, so I submitted for one house, and they had everything is like a nicely done, but then like second story of the house, they didn't have flooring. They had like plywood on the floor, right?
oh,
So and
plywood. That's
plywood, yes, they
rarely heard of. People don't use plywood on the floor these days.
yeah, they didn't have the time probably to replace it. So in this neighborhood, nothing like sold more than 1 mil 50, probably 1 million 50, right? So and the house have to be like with renovations and looking nice to hit this price, right? But we submitted at this like at one house in this area with plywood floors. um, so I submitted close to 1.50, right, for this house, which is the highest price in this area, which can be possibly be, right? And so we didn't even get a counter because the house closed. Like I called the agent and I said like, hey, what's the price did you get? He said, I got 1.2. And it's like 1.2 for the house with the plywood floors in this neighborhood where,
What zip code
and
is
he
that
said,
one in? What zip code is that one in?
I don't remember the zip code, but I'm sorry, I don't remember from top of my head, but I know the area very very well. It's close to my house. So basically, a lot of agents like whom I'm reaching out after I submit an offer and they don't reach out to me like within like a couple hours or maybe 1 hour. So if I don't follow up, so they actually, like I always follow up and say like, what is the highest did you get? And they say, oh, we got 1 mil like 100K, and they shocked themselves. They say like, I don't think the house is valued at this price, like, and this is what the listing agents telling me. And it was like just an example. Recently I represented a buyer in a Niles area in Fremont, which is a nice area. It was basically it was a flipping house, right? It was a really bad condition house with a mold. So the house in the area would be valued at 1.2. They put it on the market for 700 something, right? So my client came at 800 cash. So, and then I called the agent and I said, hey, do we still have a chance, right? And he said, I got like 1.75 or 1.50, and
Oh
I
my
got
God.
two offers cash. And he said like, I don't think the house is valued at this much. And I said like, well, I'm pretty sure they will can flip it, and they can get their value at 1.2 at anyways if somebody buys a house for themselves, right? So
Yeah. That's
so
what's
this
going on in Fremont right now. So market is crazy in Fremont too.
Fremont is yes, it's catching up. It was a little bit slower, but it's actually catching up. Yes, and like people mostly targeted like Union City previously because Union City is still under, like, you could get a house under 1 mil, right? And Fremont is like already like above 1 mil for single families, right? So, and of course, like people will go for everything what is under 1 mil, but then Union City is already, like reaching this point right now. Um,
Oh,
and
okay. Well, let's look at the next chart. Next chart shows inventory.
let me see. Sorry, my um. Okay, and then in inventory. Yeah. Well, just to talk from top of my head, but you can see the graphs because I'm very um okay, on the market inventory, of course, like, so if we usually in the usual times, like in December, January, we have a slow, like really low inventory usually, right? Like at the regular markets. But right now we are in COVID market, right? Don't forget we are in COVID market. So everything what we have right now is much less than it was like previous years, right? So
Yes.
basically inventory right now, yes, it's adding up little by little, and usually I could see like 10, 15 homes coming up on the market. And like I have clients all over the Bay Area. I have them from in San Francisco and Danville, San Ramon, Fremont. I have like them in Peninsula as well. So basically every day I wake up and I look at the market, what is new on the market, like what can I send to my clients. And like I try to be very proactive, right? Even like my clients receive these notifications, but I call them and I say like, hey, we have to go and see this, we have to go and see this now, right? So
Wow.
yes, the market is like adding little by little, but it's not enough. It's
Let
not
me
enough for the
ask
market.
you this. Every day when you wake up, how much time do you spend just watching the market on behalf of your buyers?
Uh, so basically, I spend about 10, 15 minutes because like if there is a listings coming up, I have to look where they are located. Are they close to the road? Do I want my clients to go and spend time to see that, right? So basically, in 10, 15 minutes, I look, and usually I see not only what's coming on the market, right? But I'm looking what is going pending and what actually closed and at what price. So that will give me a better idea, like where to aim next, right? What, like what price to give for another property. So, but as my advice right now at this market, you have to go your highest right now. So that's the only advice. And if you look at the projections, if we keep being like that on the market with this low inventory right now, and we didn't even hit the summer yet, right? We're gonna go only to grow, and potentially we're gonna grow 10% or even more, right? So, just to tell another story, in New York, I submitted like
Newark.
maybe like New York, yeah, like
Okay.
maybe less than 2 weeks ago, I submitted an offer, and then I called the agent and the agent said like, I got 48 offers. And I said
Oh
like,
my
what?
God. Was that a
40
single family residence?
single family residence. And so it was like probably second or third single
How old
family
was the
residence.
house? Is it a newer home, or the older home?
No, it's an older home. It's a resale and it was a nicely done home. And it was a good square footage. Schools are not good. Like what's very interesting right now, everything sells. Even the homes not in a good school area, everything sells. Nothing stays.
My
Previously,
God.
people would yeah, previously people would be targeting and overbidding homes in a good school area, right? Right now they don't. They just submit for everything.
Everything
So
sells. I've been hearing you using the same words for the past 6 months.
yes, yes. So Bay Area market is really, really hot. And it's so interesting. Yesterday I submitted couple offers, and today I submitted two offers for Livermore, one in San Ramon. So, and yesterday the agent actually reached out to me. She called me, the listing agent, and she said she actually apologized, and she says, "I'm sorry, but we got like 100K above for the property over like we overbid like 40, 50K, and then somebody put 100K on
That's
top
in
of us, and
Livermore? Is that
it,
in Livermore?
it's Livermore, and then they countering these people. So the listing agent called me and she apologized and she said, I know how hard it is with the buyer's market right now.
Yeah,
And
it's tough
like
for the
it's just
buyer's agents.
yes. And so she even, like even the agents, they feel it because on the listing side, they have clients on listing side, but at the same time, they represent buyers as well, right?
Of
They
course,
understand
yeah,
how
yeah.
hard it is.
Tough.
So, Livermore, I can talk about Livermore a little bit because in the Livermore previously was a little bit ignored, right? In some
Yeah.
areas, and there is a sunset area in Livermore where in last December, no, this last December, I closed the house at 9:15, and then my clients were thinking they've been overpaying, right? And it was a flipped house with a good condition, so basically nice house, nicely done. So, and I actually negotiated the agent, the sellers, they put a new AC for my clients, new water heater, so which is unusual practice, right? Like I actually made these improvements, like get these improvements from a seller for my buyer. So, and my buyers were thinking they've been overpaying at 915, right? Right now, what I see in Sunset area, the homes coming up at 900 plus, and they closer to 1 mil right now
Oh
at the
my God, that's
listing price.
crazy, crazy.
And
You want to move on to the next chart?
yes, yes.
Okay, let's look
Uh,
at the median list price, and this one is San Jose and Santa Clara.
oh, so you know what? The graphs, San Jose median list price. Okay, as I said previously, if you look at the homes, they do not hold on the market more than 2 weeks, right?
Yeah,
Some listing agents, they just aim, like they market it for longer, they keep it like on the market for a week or maybe second week. But majority of the homes, they're going faster, right? They put it on the market. If somebody will come with a good offer, even if they say there is an offer due date for other agents and they advertise as an offer due date set, but the house can go faster. Like if you come with a non-contingent, like way above asking price, the seller's most likely to accept it. So everything moves really fast, faster than 2 weeks. I wouldn't say some of the good homes, they would stay on the market 2 weeks.
Okay, all right. So looks like median sale price, we cover that. And inventory. Now, inventory, it went down, came up, and now it's down again.
Yes, the inventory is down, but actually it's coming up little by little. As I said, like it adds up, but it's not enough, right? If for one house, like previously for one house, if it would be like 7 offers, right now you would see 15, 20 offers, right? So there is there are a lot of buyers on the market and they're very active.
Okay. Now let's look at the next chart. Days on the market now, pretty at the low point right now, days on the market. So
Yes,
extremely, extremely hot market.
yes. So, and then like on my next chart, you just can say a little bit about Sacramento area, right?
Yeah,
Do you
Sacramento
see?
median list price is actually rising right now, as I can see. Inventory is
Yes.
declining, so I think that the two goes in separate directions. One is going
Yeah,
up, the other one is going down.
yes. And actually, I just can say a little bit what's going on exactly, right? Like just why this is happening. Because a lot of, I have a lot of questions from my buyers, my friends, and they've been waiting for the market to go down long time already, right? So, and then what I can say right now, what is moving this market, right? Of course, we know interest rate is very low, right? Recent deal which my loan broker locked up my clients at 2.5% for the conventional loan, which is
30-year
super
fix,
low.
is that the conforming or
Yes,
non-conforming?
conforming. I
Conforming,
think, yeah,
okay.
yes, conforming. So that's number one. Then, like the buyers, they got a more buying power because the banks like at the beginning of the year, they changed conforming loan limits, right, from 765 to 822. So now every buyer can buy much more value home, right? So another thing is like what moves it, right? It's inventory. We have a very low inventory, right? And everyone wants to buy. Everyone wants to use this rate, right? Everyone wants to use this potential of the loan limit, right? So then
Yes,
another thing is like it's a market, it's a stocks, right? Bitcoins and so on. So people have a lot of money like from stocks, and of course they want to take it out partially and move it to down payment, right?
yeah,
So that's another. And of course, like if you look at the market, what's happening right now in Bay Area, like it's a COVID, right? COVID situation. A lot of I'm pretty sure a lot of retirees, they don't want to move and sell right now. They probably hold their properties, so they don't. But that's another factor why we have such a low inventory, right? So and people started to move outward of the whole Silicon Valley, right? They're moving to Livermore areas. They moved to Sacramento, everywhere outward. So, but in the meantime, they still buy inside of Silicon Valley as well, right? So, so everything grows out and in, right? So basically, all these factors, they play a big role on the market right now, right? And
yes.
of course, I really, really hope we will have a more inventory.
Yep.
And then
Okay,
talking
now
about
we're looking at price forecast right now.
price forecast, as I said, Zillow calculated, they say the prices will go up to from 9 to 10%. But
Yes.
I'm thinking if we're gonna be like that with this inventory, we're gonna go at a much higher percentage growth,
So if somebody asks
because
you, well,
right now
Liddy, would the real estate market crash in 2021? What would you say to them?
no, it's not gonna crash. It's just gonna grow, and there is no like there is. So to understand a little bit in the Silicon Valley, right? Like majority of the homes in like in 2009, 2008, the period of this crash, majority of the homes, not majority, like about 35%, they've been bought on cash, right? Majority of the homes they paid out. Like so basically, if you look at the market, how it if you will get inventory coming up on the market, like you have to have like tons of like let's say 30 or 40 homes show up on the market at the same time to market to go down, right? But it's not
Yeah.
gonna happen. It's not happening. Everything, like everything what comes on the market, even if person loses a home, right? Potentially he puts it on a short sale, or he's like potentially like there is a threat to go to foreclose. He's putting on it putting it for sale, and he's still gonna get overbid. Like he's still gonna get a lot of offers for this house, right?
Okay.
We're not gonna go down. So
All right, let's look
it's
at the next chart. Next chart shows what? This San Francisco County market update. So, what can you share with us about this chart?
I can skip this chart for now. It's
Okay, we'll skip
basically
this chart and we'll look at the last
uh,
one, medium sold price. So, it's a comparison of different counties.
oh, which one did we see? Medium sold price. That we can skip as well because
Okay, all right. We'll go back to the screen, just the two of us. Okay, now I want to share with you. Obviously, today we have a lot of prospective agents or newer agents that are watching our show today. Now, I see that you are extremely busy right now. So may I ask you, if you don't mind me asking, within the last 6 months, on an average, how many hours do you put in into real estate in a week?
So I basically live real estate, right? So honestly, I have kids. I don't see my kids. They're all like, I live real estate. Sometimes I have like 15 showings all over Bay Area, right? I can go to San Ramon, I can go to Livermore, show like 5, 7 homes, and then drive home to Fremont. And from Fremont, I go to San Jose to my appointments, right? I'm all over Bay Area showings. Then I have a lot of paperwork. I have a lot of phone calls. So I'm constantly busy, right? I always have work. I always have something to do.
Yeah,
It's never it's you have to be very, very active. Like it's not the market where you can see a home coming up on the market and you say, oh, we can see it on a weekend. No, no, this is not this market. You can't postpone it to see with the clients on the weekend. Sometimes when my clients say like, oh, we can see it on a weekend, but it's like what, Monday today, I say, no, 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 we're gonna go and see it today or tomorrow. We have a good, a good chance to get an offer
so
accepted,
for
right?
newer agents who are trying to make it in the industry, what advice would you give them? Because there's many agents watching the show, they're thinking, well, what can I do? Because many of them are not busy. And then they're looking at you and they're looking at Gene Riley. How can they be so busy? I'm not busy. So what's going on?
I think it's just devotion, right? Because right now, my clients are really priority, So, like I understand I do have my family, but, at this fast-paced market, I can't, like, when I have a clients right now, I can't slow down right now, and I can't, I can't postpone things for them. This is not the market to be, like to be quiet and sit and, like wait for something. And I have responsibility and devotion to my clients, like because I'm working for the good results for my clients, and until I get, if I have a client, like I'm gonna work until I get a good result for them. And that's my devotion. I'm not gonna postpone something for my clients. And I'm way ahead, like sometimes I'm like 10 steps ahead of, like what my clients thinking in order for their offer accepted. The main thing for me is like a final result, right? And if you have clients, you just have to be active. You have to, like if just be active and keep moving, right? Like you have to be active.
Let me ask you this. Some of our agents are so new in the business. And whenever there's a prospective client that call them, is obviously a new client. Are you getting more existing clients calling you, or what is the percentage? Are you serving more newer clients or existing clients, or what's going on?
So I do have existing clients right now, and plus I have newer clients calling me and reaching out to me all the time because they ask me about certain cities in the Bay Area, right? I'm very, as I said before, I'm all over Bay Area. So if somebody asks me about some people just reach out to me, some buyers, and they would ask like, hey, how it is in San Ramon, and what's the price range we can get a house, and they give me specifics. So I just tell them like what their potential purchase price would be, and how the market in there, and what they can get for this price at this market right now. So I'm reaching out to everyone whom I know, and people who like actually existing clients and new clients as well.
Okay, well, glad you've been very successful within the last 4 years you've been with Centermac. Every year your number goes up, so which is
Well,
really, really good.
yeah, right now I'm actually, like numbers are good, but I'm really, really, really want to get a home for my clients because it's so hard, right? And like it's not even like about, um, yeah, it's just devotion to my clients. I want to get a house for them, which is very frustrating right now. But
See, it sounds
I'm
like what's more important is to getting the homes for your customer than it is your own performance. But I
yeah,
think the client's service to your clients will bring you more business. I think that's what's going on right now. You're giving your best to your
yeah.
customer.